Hi, my name's Tim, and I'm a 5 handicap. Here's the thing, sometimes on the course, I just blow up. Oh no, I'm in trouble. That's very bad, actually.
Timothy.
Almost murder someone. It's a bit of a problem, but today I have my friend Rob. Rob is a mental performance coach. The question we're gonna be answering today is, can one session with a mental performance coach change my handicap, help me actually drop strokes? So he is going to go with me for 3 holes, par 5, par 3, par 4, and hopefully fix this.
We'll try.
What do you think the chances are that you can fix what's going on up top?
100%.
I gotta say, this might be the most nervous I've been on a tee shot, because it's not just about where it goes, but it's my attitude.
I'm just gonna watch and observe, see what happens. Nice shot. Really nice. Great job.
Let's go.
That's it, video's done. How long have you been playing golf?
Okay, so I started playing golf when I was probably 14 or 15, but I was the only one in my family that picked it up. So it was kind of like, I found some
it
clubs.
yourself?
Yeah, well, I played with some uncles, but then nobody in my immediate family played. So.
Yeah. And how long have you been playing sort of competitive golf, or, you know, really good golf standard? What are you at? 5 handicap now?
Yeah, 5 handicap now. The last year and a half to 2 years, my golf has improved dramatically.
Okay.
I played a lot more, obviously doing stuff with Tacoma, filming out here. So it's been a huge change the last 2 years.
Okay. Would you say you enjoy golf more now, or when you were sort of 15, 16, just picking it up?
I think I enjoy it more now.
That's
the most frustrating thing with me, I think, when I think about golf, the thing that drives me the most nuts is that I know like there's more potential.
Yeah.
And so I'm never playing up to that. And when I wasn't playing that often, it's even more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because you only go out randomly, and then it's like, I think I can play better than this, but it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Like you say, you play golf to a good standard. You could play this hole and birdie it, and then the next hole you could get a quad.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
and that's what's frustrating, is this could be perfect, and then the next one, like, I have no idea.
Exactly. So we want to find out, how can we reduce the chances of that quad happening? Because everyone knows in golf the best thing, what the pros do, is consistency. I noticed on the first, your routine was kind of, say it was maybe 20 seconds long.
Yeah, so I don't even think about it as a routine is the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Is every shot I treat differently, and I don't even really think about it. As far as like my routine is concerned, basically, okay, I'm gonna hit a 5-iron here. I'm just trying to get an idea where I want to hit it. I mean, yeah, I don't really think in terms of like, this is what I do every time.
Yeah, okay.
Which is probably an issue.
In a sense, that's a really good thing. You don't overcomplicate the golf game. So if you've got something that's compact and precise, that's not a bad thing at all, but what I need to know is kind of what's going through your head when you're doing that, because then hopefully it'll kind of lead me into what might cause some of the bad shots. Like, what would you say your worst shot is?
The miss historically has been like a slice, but I've gotten rid of that over the last few years. But mentally, I know this. Mentally, I'm terrified of the slice.
Yeah, it's
like
there.
Yes, that's like what the fear is. And so I think what ends up happening is I end up hitting a lot of shots fat. Is mostly my miss. I think it's like I'm still scared of a golf game that doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah. Did you get nervous on the course? Like first tee today, what was your feelings today? Were you?
Yeah, it's especially, I get nervous especially when we're filming.
Okay.
Right? And so most of the golf that I'm playing now is on camera.
Yeah.
And there's this feeling of like, I was just hitting it on the range, hitting it well, but then I'm like, there's a camera here, don't screw up. And I've hit some truly terrible shots on camera, and I hate that feeling. You know, when you just like top it, I hate that.
Because then thousands of people are going to see it, and you know that you can hit better golf shots than that. They can go watch a previous video and see that you've got better golf shots than that. That isn't your golf game, that one, one top you did or whatever. Right. Or that slice you did with the driver. What we'll do on the next tee is something really good to help with, nervous about tee shots, or you're nervous about that slice coming back in. There's something we can definitely implement on the tee box. I guess a mental routine, you'd call it, what you can do on pretty much every shot, because we want to get some good habits into your game. I don't know if there is any bad habits, we can find that out.
I know there's bad mental habits. Exactly. I know I end up I get into some bad places.
Yeah.
You want to know where my handicap comes from?
Yes.
One, my driver's been real squirrely. It's getting better, but the
yeah.
driver's been real squirrely. Just throwing golf balls out of bounds. And then the second one is right here. I have zero confidence on the greens.
Okay.
It shows up. Like, I don't really know when I hit a good putt versus a bad putt. Like, I don't mentally. Like, if you watch my putting stroke, it's not like it looks terrible. I don't have like I don't know, some weird hitch in it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I have no clue. Let's just smack a golf ball, which is probably not the approach.
Okay. All right. Let me watch you hit this putt.
Just bad speed. That's not terrible.
It's not done bad, that, actually.
Like, I don't actually do the whole aim point,
Okay.
but it's more just like I realize that my eyes lie to me a lot. So just trying to get just a better overall feel. At some point, I probably should try to learn the whole aim point system.
In the sense of your overall golf game, to me it looks like feel is a big part of your golf game. You know, it's not very, stats based. I'd like to try a couple of things out on the next green, definitely. But let's focus on this next tee shot now. How are we going?
Like 140?
Okay, so this is where we're gonna kick things off. So I always like to encourage people to have a certain number in their head, round it out to what you think it's playing. I think we should put a little bit more care into your golf game. So we could, and it doesn't have to be a lot, it can be expanding that 20-second pre-shot routine to 30 seconds. And that 10 seconds might seem like a lot when you're over the ball. It's not necessarily going to be a swing thought or something like that. It might just be a little bit more care that you take on the tee box. So let's get a number here. So what was it, 140?
Yeah, it's right about 140.
When's a cross? I don't think it's down, is it? I don't want to throw it in your face.
You're good.
Oh, sorry.
It's like it's crossing down a little bit.
Yeah, crossing down. So maybe playing a 135, should we say?
Yeah.
I think that's a
so.
decent number. Okay, so what kind of goes 135 for you?
So realistically, I could try to murder this 52, but there's a chance it doesn't get there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this would be if I crushed a 52, which I'd rather not do.
No.
So
I
it'd be
agree with that.
A pretty kind of a stock pitching wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
choke down,
Nice. And what would you say is your typical ball flight? Are we going draw, fade?
Okay, so
Fairly straight?
So it actually is fairly straight. Mentally, again, historically speaking, it's been a little all over the place because it took me a while to find the right shaft for the irons.
Okay,
and so there was a lot of like kick at the end, so it'd be kind of a lot whippy. It's fairly straight. For shots like this, in my head, I try to think a little bit of a draw just because I don't want it, kind of fading and losing all the distance. So
that's one thing I'm going to encourage you to is always have a shape in your head. I mean, any kind of psychology book you read or anything like that will talk about visualization. Now, I think that's going to be really key for your driver as well, but also your irons. So if you can just think about a shape, because what I was going to say with your driver, and it kind of comes into play with the irons as well, you have a very high ball flight, wind can attack that.
Yep.
You have a lot more to worry about out there than what I do. So some of the things you're thinking about and seeing, that might as well not be there. So around here, it's not too bad here because we've got a fairly decent sized green, but we've also got bunkers left and right.
Yep.
And it's easy for people to go, oh, I don't want to miss that right. And I also don't want to miss it left because there's a bunker there. All I want you to do is now just picture this flight of the golf ball, but let's not keep our attention down here. I want you to see it in the air. Try and pick almost a cloud of where it's going to go. Try and just see that flight as much as you can in the air. That's all I want you to think about during this shot. You can kind of do this as a little checklist. So you've got your yardage, that's done. You've got the shot that you want to hit, which is a little draw. Right. Let's go from there. Let's try to see what happens. Maybe more downwind than we thought.
It has to be.
I mean, you crushed it.
That flew.
That was a great strike. And
I pulled it a little. So that is the problem that ends up showing up is if I catch it with the face a little closed and then the wind, it's like the distance shows up like crazy.
Because of how far you hit it, it'd be interesting to see what your gapping is between clubs because that's going to be key for you.
Yeah.
The gaps between my clubs are probably going to be a lot smaller, whereas your pitching wedge there has gone, what do you say, 140, 150?
Yeah, because it landed on the back of the green.
Yeah, I'm going to say it either landed on the back or through. So that might be something excluding this mental session that you kind of need to. I'd be nervous as well if I think my pitching wedge could either go 130 or 150. That's a huge gap.
Yeah.
That can really, and like you say, you've not even hit really a bad shot. You've just kind of pulled it a little bit.
Yeah.
It was still on the green, on line with the green, but yet you're over the back.
Yep.
This is another kind of thing we can go into, is your, what I like to call the post-shot routine.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people's post-shot routine will be club
throw the
slam, club slam, yeah, angry, swear. If you can stop that and kind of hold yourself back and go, well, actually, I hit a good shot there. It just went a little big.
Right. Contact was fantastic.
Exactly, yeah.
It took a good divot.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff we go through, so it'd be good for you to re-watch this video and kind of make notes on it. And that's what I encourage people to do as well. If you're watching a video where someone's talking about the mental game, a lot of information can come at you quick. Like with a swing tip video, there's a focus on what you need to do. Yep. Whereas in a mental game video, you might talk about, you know, there might be like 30 different kind of things in there. 29 of them might not work for you, but one of them might. But you won't know that until you write it down and then maybe try it yourself. And which is what I encourage kind of everyone to do, no matter what video you watch.
This didn't fly 140. This flew like 160.
Yeah. Wow, that's gone far.
It's way more. It has to be way more downwind. That is wild.
Yeah, it did. It's definitely much more downwind than it was on the tee box. It was more across. So anyway, you've not even thought about that shot again.
Nah, it's gone.
For now, yeah, gone, done, perfect.
Chipping for me is a giant question mark. So I'll just walk you through kind of how I go.
Please, yeah.
Because it's into the wind, I'm going to be a little more aggressive. Go with a 56. Because I think from here it's fairly clean. I think I'll get some spin off of this.
Yeah.
I think if I land it halfway, it's downhill, probably halfway there, with some spin, get it to release. Yeah. That would be my thought process here. So
one thing I'd like you to do is, if you can come up here with me,
right,
I'd like you to go and stand on the landing spot. From there, you've got so much green to work with. It's kind of hard to pick an exact spot.
Right.
Whereas if you can come up here and go, oh, I actually have, I have all this green to work with.
I think I've got to land it short of this. Right?
Yeah, absolutely, exactly, yeah.
But also, if it's too far back, we're going to be on top of this hill again.
Exactly. You don't want to, you don't want to be having the downhill putt. So you want it to get there, but also a wind into.
Yeah.
So one thing I encourage you to do is get that ball on the green as quick as you can, which may mean flying it down. Stuff you can try out, practice with. If you took, let's say, maybe a pitching wedge and just tried to land it here, because you know that ball's going to roll.
Right.
The ball could do all sorts of things if you let it go up in the air for a while.
And this is honestly, this is a huge problem with my chipping. I know that, and that is like playing the low shot.
Yeah.
I have not done it. Just in Texas, I just didn't ever grow up with that.
Yeah.
And so I was literally playing unnecessary flop shots. All the time.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's more fun. Yeah.
It's way more fun. So this shot, like, it's hard for me to visualize a low pitch that runs out. In my head, I'm thinking it's gonna run off the green.
Yeah. Let me grab a ball and a pitching wedge.
All right.
So let's give ourselves a similar lie. One thing that's going to be different is obviously the swing length. So you had quite a long swing length there. It went to here. Whereas here, you only really need to do that. Let's pick a landing spot that was closer than the last one. And all I want you to do is, like I said, just think about landing it on that spot. Again, I know we've gone through so much already in the space of one hole, but I never thought you were going to do what you did with the first one.
No.
It's kind of not even a mental thing. It's kind of just a club choice, really.
Yeah.
But it's a mental thing that starts it.
I get tunnel vision. Where I'll get cued in on, like, I got to hit the 56 or the 60, keep it high.
Yeah.
And then, like, mentally, I'll hit it and then go, why didn't I play something lower? Yeah. But, like, it just in my head, it was never a legitimate option until after I hit the bad shot.
Yeah. You said use aim point. What kind of aim point do you use? Is it more just feeling the slope?
Yeah, I haven't figured out the whole like that yet.
No, okay.
It's more just because, like, this looks right to left and it's sort of, okay, how severe do I feel like this is? Right? And then I just like to pick a spot. So like this in my head, it feels like I want to hit this ball. Thankfully there's like a mark to like here.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of where I want to hit the ball to.
So that would be would you say that's the apex of your putt? So once it gets to there, is it then going to start breaking, or is it going to start breaking earlier?
I think it'll start breaking earlier, so I would try to start line would be here.
Start line would be there.
Yeah.
What I'd encourage you to do is find the apex. So where at that point is the ball going to start breaking? Where would you say along here?
My guess would be right about here.
Right about here? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the point that I'd like you to focus on more.
Okay.
Because your ball's got to get to that point.
Right.
Because then it's going to start breaking towards there. Right on. Right on. Perfect.
I was wrong about how much it broke, but it went in.
Doctor, you fixed it. Will you say your putting grip is pressure-wise, you know, if you're 10 would be like death grip where you're trying to snap the shaft, and 1 is, you know, extremely light to where you'll drop it. What would you say your grip is?
Now it's probably somewhere around a 5, maybe,
okay,
maybe
that's
a 4.
real.
But
That's
it's
real.
gotten a lot lighter. Like it was in the past. It was here, and then it's trying to do this.
That's when you get the twitchy movements. Yeah, we want it as light as you can. So just put your hands on the putter for me. Act like you're gonna hit a putt. Nice. I kind of want that to immediately just do that. So even though it stayed up here, that tells me there's a bit of pressure. So if I just drop it, I want it to kind of, that's what I want it to do. I want it to go down there. I want it to go,
so
instead of it being up here, because that's pressure, I want it to be able to do that.
Oh, so you know what that is? That's
yeah.
more in my wrists than my hands. Because like my wrists, I think, are tighter than I even realized.
Okay. Yeah.
Because this is more
that's
like...
the kind of feeling you want to get. So you've got more feeling.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, like, if I let go of my hands, I'm just going to drop the putter. But it's really because my wrists are more locked than I realized.
We kind of want it. We want as much feel in that as we can. So that's a good little drill to do on the green. You know, if you feel yourself getting tight and you feel yourself hitting some jerky putts, that little drill can just be as a reminder to you to, you know, I need to soften my grip up, not grip it as tight. This is a really good hole to do this on, actually.
Yeah, this is actually terrifying.
Is it because there's the highway on the left?
It's because of the humans. Yeah.
Would you say your heart rate's kicking up a little bit here? You feel it kind of going a little bit more, or
probably shows up in heart rate. I don't feel like it's like thumping crazy. Like all I'm thinking about is what I don't want to do, which I know is wrong here, right? Yeah. All I'm thinking is, please don't snap hook it. Yeah. Which actually leads me to snap hook it. Yeah. Again, similar to what we talked about on the hole before, where you can hit it is much further than most golfers. You've got a lot more to think about. What I would encourage you to do is sort of play beyond the course. So with your driver here, I'd encourage you to look not at the fairway, but more at the trees in the distance. The trees on the right, the brownish coloured trees, for me, that's a perfect line for you. All I want you to focus on is those brown trees. I want you to send your ball into them brown trees. Yeah, it might be too far, but all of a sudden then you kind of, that goes out of play, that goes out of play. And it's a positive version of tunnel vision because you're so focused on that, that all of a sudden that doesn't exist really. So let's try that. So again with your routine, I want you to pick same like what we did on there. I want you to pick a flight, what you want to do. So start line, finish line, see the ball in the air. Again, let's look how high, you hit a high ball. So you sometimes you might have to look this high for where that ball is going to go. But it doesn't, like I say, it doesn't matter as long as it goes straight. Right. But I'd encourage you to see the flight, see where it's going to finish, especially where it's going to finish, which would be, ideally, are those brown trees. Right. So focus on them and then just let it rip. I think that's fine, isn't it? I hope so.
A little left, but it's not out of play. Whereas if you're, before, might not have been, but that could have been 10 yards further. No, I can tell you how the impact that thought did, because all I tried to do was think those trees, right? Yeah. If I hadn't thought that, I would have been thinking don't snap hook it. Which what that does is it gets my body tight, and then I'm hitting the toe of the driver. And then so that one, the contact wasn't the toe. And if I would have gotten more tight, trying to not have it go, and then it would have. So that actually, the contact was way better than it would have if I had been approaching it how it normally would. So good. Yeah. That's great. The fear of that tee shot. Because I get such there's humans there. Yeah. Here's the thing. I have actually almost hit a decent number of people on the golf course, partially because I hit it so far or hard, which means if I miss, I can miss catastrophically. Yep.
So what, 15, 20 yards off the fairway?
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
Oh, I mean, again, realistically, I've hit that tee shot with, vehicles, cars in play many times before, and the miss, it either is, unfortunately, a pull left that hopefully doesn't kill anyone, haven't killed anyone yet, or it's a slice. It's almost never something like that, which was a really good ball flight, a little left of the fairway.
It's always, the focus is always on the shot that you don't want to do, which is obviously, no one wants that. Yep. We always want to focus on what we do want to do. So, based on what we learned about the par 3, you think a 52?
Yeah, it's got to be a 52. If I hit this well, just a really good stock 52, probably goes 125 yards.
Okay.
So that's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah,
Now, obviously, rough might not get good contact. So a 56 is more like 110, somewhere around there.
Okay. Well, let's look at the hole. So you've got bunker left, bunker far.
And that's kind of what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Is as long as I don't, pull it left,
Yeah.
then short is.
A lot of the time, we can play the hole backwards. Yeah, it's hard because we couldn't really see what the hole was like from down there. Yeah, let's go 56. Yeah, so then if you do miss short, we can still see that golf ball.
Right. I also feel like if the thought is short is fine, I can be more aggressive with the swing.
Yeah,
if I'm scared of long, then it's like I'm almost scared of really good contact.
Yeah. Start line, finish line. I don't want that bunker in the right to come into play at all. I don't want you to even look at that.
Yep.
So again, let's see that, see where it's going to finish, and just try and replicate that in the swing. Just try and do that flight.
Short. I got it fat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, but you know why that's happened. You caught it fat.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just not every swing is going to be perfect.
Okay, so I brought clubs I normally wouldn't. I brought a pitching wedge and a 52.
Okay.
This doesn't feel like the play for either one of those.
Well, the good thing is you're playing into an uphill slope, so it's going to kill it a little bit. So if you were playing it lower, I'd say this green patch is kind of a good angle.
Right.
But if you're looking something a little bit higher, maybe up here, it's going to bounce left as well.
Right.
So to be fair, this is a really hard shot.
And I feel like if you go left because of this slope, it can just carry that way.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at finishing over here in this lighter patch. So again, we'll have a look at the lie.
Actually, lie looks pretty.
Oh, it's okay actually. I'd be looking at maybe 56.
Yeah, that's the first club I reached for.
Yeah, that's 56. Perfect. So that's another good thing. If you grab a club, that's what your gut tells you. Go with that club. Go on. Oh, great effort. Great effort.
That went like maybe a yard further than we wanted, but I'm very happy with that.
Great. I mean, it nearly went in.
Yeah.
So again, let's think about the apex of the putt. So I want, where's the highest point of this putt? Where is it going to go to? And then start breaking in. That's the point I want you to focus on. Another thing is if you're putting here,
right?
Where's your last look?
Oh, it's normally the hole.
The thing is, if you look at the hole,
yeah.
Again, then your attention kind of goes towards the hole.
Yep.
You're going to miss a lot of putts this side because you might end up pulling it towards the hole. Whereas if your last look is, wherever it's going to be up here, we're going to get a much more consistent.
So my thought is the apex is here.
Nice. Let's go with that. Gut instincts again. Just trust it. Perfect. Middle. Let's go. It never looked like missing.
No, that was
great putt.
Is that 2-1 putts?
Yeah.
Nice up and down.
Yeah, well, I mean, after I schooled one over the green, we didn't count, but yeah. That thing on the green, just thinking about the apex and focusing there. I like as soon as you say that, and then I hit a putt with that in mind. I just realized how much when my last look and thought is the hole.
Yeah.
Like my body just goes towards there, and whatever the break is, I'm gonna miss it low. Like almost every time.
That's a really good thing. And it's so simple as well.
Yeah.
It's something that like when you do it, you go, oh yeah. This is what we can really use on this hole. You've got a 500-yard par 5.
Yep.
Water right all the way up.
Yep.
All the way to the green.
It's 200 yards.
If you hit it 306, we've got 200 yards in. You can easily get there in 2. This is like a par 4 for you, right? So let's ignore that maybe that's a good idea to try and play as a par 4. The par 5s maybe don't exist for you. Just try and play it as a par 4.
So this is something I definitely do, and I know that I do this. A situation happens like this because I hit the ball so high, and the wind blows it so much. I get up here and I start changing. Like I need to change my golf swing to hit it lower and do this. Like I get very much like I'm gonna change everything all of a sudden for this shot, and obviously that doesn't go well.
No,
because I'm thinking my standard drive is if it goes up in the air, it's gonna get killed.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the thing is, like, it's going to get killed.
Exactly. But perfect. So, like you just said in there, I'm not going to hit it 300 because of the wind and stuff. So let's account for that. Let's say it's going to go 280, which you're still in good play.
Yeah.
So don't try and change the swing. And the best way to do that is just focusing on one thing, which like we've done before, flying. So again, let's pick a start line, let's pick a finish line, and we'll go from there again. That's all I want you to do. We don't want to, I could give you 10 different things and it'd overcomplicate it all. But the main thing for you at the minute and your golf, I think, is just picking out the shot, just trying to see the shot a little bit more, visualize it.
All right, so the thought I'm thinking, there's like those two light colored trees or posts out there to the right of the bunker. That's kind of where I'm looking. I feel like I might need to go more right than that though because of the wind. Yeah. So let's go.
See how there's that like really dark green tree?
Yep, that's exactly, okay.
Perfect.
Yep, perfect.
Fine to me.
It's low on the face, so it didn't go very far, but it's straight at that tree.
I know, but that's, you could have also said, you know, oh, I've hit it a bit lower.
I've got to be more forgiving of myself because I would leave this tee going, as opposed to, that's the middle of the fairway. Like, I maybe missed the contact a little, but.
There's so many things in your golf game that aren't in your control. And I think from what I've seen, that's a lot of people's problem is that they focus so many things on these things that just we can't control at all.
Right.
All you can do is put the best swing on it you can, no matter the conditions, whatever it is. All you can do is put your best swing on it. If it comes out, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like then again, wasn't the shot you wanted to hit, but it's in the fairway.
Yep. Didn't go very far, but it's fine. This is now a par 5 because that's 260 water
260,
carry.
Yeah. Have to lay up. Okay. What's your ideal wedge shot? What distance?
My short wedges are like my least consistent part of my game.
Okay.
Like I don't know the difference between a 40-yard pitch and a 60-yard pitch, like feel-wise when I walk up to it. I don't go, here's my 40-yard shot, which is something I gotta work on technically.
Yeah.
Like I know that. Okay, so realistically, I'd like this to be under 100 yards.
Okay.
Then I'm making more of a controlled swing.
Should we try hitting it 170?
So my 7-iron is like 180, somewhere 180, 183.
Well, let's go with that because wins. Yeah, let's go 70.
Again, so this is the problem when you spin it, is that if I hit a full 8, right, it's getting blown way back because of the wind because I got to keep it lower.
Yeah. So, again, we know that if this goes 170, we've got roughly 100 yards in, which is what we want. You know, we want 100 or less. I think for the way you swing it, maybe longer's better because, you know, like you say, 50, 60 yard might be tricky, whereas if you can put almost a full swing on something, that's great. So let's go 7-iron. Again, recap again, I know I'm going to say it, you're probably going to get sick of me saying it, but start line, finish line, flight, that's crucial. Every single time.
I think that same target that was the one off the tee, because it's more to the left side, which is a little safer, right?
Yeah.
So basically at that, and just try to hit, maybe keep the flight down a little. I'd like to see it a little lower, so maybe a touch further back in my stance, but like at that tree, not great contact, but it's fine.
But again, unless I would really analyze that, it looked fine to me.
There's been 2 comments that have been made to me that because apparently I'm not that strong mentally on the golf course, they've really messed with me. Several years ago, I was playing with a guy, great guy, but he saw how far I could hit the ball, and he said, "Tim, with your length, you should be putting for birdie on just about every hole." So then I'm like, oh, so I'm failing every time I don't have a birdie putt, which is a problem. Second comment, I played with this golf sidekick, Matt, awesome dude. And he made the comment, he goes, you hit the ball as well as the scratch players that I play with. And I'm like,
compliment,
except also, so then why aren't you scratched? It's clearly not that you can't hit the ball well enough, it's up here, right? Yeah.
I think that's the same for a lot of people. They don't almost realize what it can do for them until they have something like this, you know, a lesson like this that kind of opens their eyes. It did for me. The first time I had one of these lessons with a guy back home, I was like, oh my god, there's all different sides to golf that I didn't know about. Once you kind of learn that, oh, there's all this stuff I can do that'll help my golf that I don't have to, you know, spend hours on the range doing. I mean, we've barely scratched the surface today of what you can go into and what might be better for you.
But I can already tell how much just having that concise, like, target, looking up, picturing it in the air as opposed to getting obsessed with the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be huge for me.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
This is the best I've ever seen you play.
Without question. Yeah, it's like it's gonna sound silly because people, like, if you're not here, it's amazing how much just changing how you think about the shots. I can feel the difference immediately. It's crazy. Okay, so apex point, I'm gonna roll with right about here,
Yeah.
I think. And then, hey, we'll find out if I'm just totally off on reading. I think there with dying pace, right?
Nice.
I think.
I think so, yeah. Like I say, it's just put the best roll in it you can. Die it in. And have your last look at that apex point. Let's see what happens. Didn't turn. Missed high side, tapping.
Yeah, that's
easy.
that is such a good result. Rob, you're gonna give me a couple of takeaways here?
I think so, yeah. Things that you can take into tomorrow. Every tee shot, every iron, every chip, whatever it is, I want you to see the flight of the shot. That's crucial. Putting, apex point. And then one thing that I'd like you to try as well that we've not done yet is when you're on the tee box, take one inhale through your nose, quite long, probably 3 to 4 seconds. And then when you look out and have your last look at the shot you want to do, long exhale through the mouth, forceful, help you relax. I think you'll be fine tomorrow. Yeah, those three things.
Well, thank you. That's awesome. Hey, if you want to follow Rob, which you should, all of his socials, we're going to link them in the description. Go check him out. Shoot him a message. He does some coaching, if I'm not mistaken.
I do.
So definitely do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.
Thank you.